No.
Get cheesy. Welcome to Foodie Mom-versations. I'm very excited about our show today. Been wanting to do this type of show for a long time. We're doing something different. It's called a snack and a show. Mom, I'm hungry. You just ate. And today, I'm doing this because I've been inspired by other YouTubers that I really love watching. A couple examples would be Jamie French, Bailey Sarian, where they're doing something they love, their makeup, talking about stories or movies or what have you. So when I started watching them do that, it made me think of that 90s show, or maybe like Dinner and a Movie, and it popped up in the middle of a really good movie and they're making a yummy recipe and whatever. And so it just made me want to do this, and I'm super excited to do it today. So if you like this type of content and you like our videos, or you just like to learn easy recipes and fun recipes that your kids will love, please click subscribe or follow our Facebook page for more of these videos. So you might want to know, what do WW84 and pizza rolls have in common? And the answer, the 80s. And it's the same thing that ties me into this theme, because I was also created in the 80s, like the late 80s. Like, I was barely there, but I was there. So actually, what you may not know about pizza rolls is that they debuted in 1985, which is super close to WW84. It's only like the next year. So we're just gonna pretend they were like part of that movie. Sure, why not? The original pizza rolls we know and love were created by someone that sold them to Pillsbury in 1985 for $135 million. And they became the pizza rolls that we now love today. But this is not about the pizza rolls. We're not reviewing pizza rolls. We already know they're excellent. What we're gonna do is make some homemade pizza rolls. Super easy, fun for a snack, fun for a quick weeknight meal. And they go with the movie because it's all in the 80s, baby. So here we go. So what we're using for our pizza rolls today are a package of pepperoni. We're doing the original, I don't know if it's original, but we're doing the pepperoni flavor. So the original flavor was actually cheese. That was the first one that I read. That was the first distributed flavor, was the cheese one. So we're gonna do the pepperoni. So I used Hormel pepperoni. I just kind of diced it up like really small. Just like pea size. Diced it up, and then I bought just a jar of pizza sauce. If you wanted to get real crazy and make pizza sauce, or if you have some left over or frozen or whatever, that's doable. It doesn't really matter. It's gonna be, as long as it's tasty. So I put about half that jar in there, and I really just put it in to bind it. And then I added in on top of that the Kraft Italian cheese, about a cup of the Italian cheese mix. But really any cheese that you like would probably pretty tasty. It's going to end up being like fried cheese, so I don't think it's going to taste bad. And then I mixed those items all together in this bowl, and they're really just enough sauce to kind of make everything like a paste. And I hope this works. I've never done this, so I'm literally testing this in front of you, so I hope it works out well. And then for the egg roll wrap, okay, so I accidentally got eggless, and I don't know how that's going to affect things, but they're vegan. So, and I've got our mixture, and to be able to do this, what I'm gonna do is take just a spoonful of this, and I'm gonna put it in, and we're gonna kind of just fold it in like a pillow. You want to take some water on your finger and make sure that the wrappers are wet, so that way they will bind. And I'm just gonna kind of tuck this little baby in like that. And I'm just gonna push on it a little. Yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna actually make these like a double-sized pizza roll, but we'll do a couple small ones just for fun. Make sure that's wet. And then I'm just kind of tucking it onto the seam like this. So I literally just kind of folded it right there, just like a little gift, like a little Christmas gift. And then I'm gonna fold it up. I'm gonna pinch it really well on those wet edges. And then you wanna just dab it with water. Don't drown it, just dab it. And then I'm gonna fold it upwards. And we're gonna hope and pray that that does not come apart in the hot oil that we're gonna be frying these in. And if it does, I'm not gonna show it to you, so it's okay. Okay, so that's cute. It's like our first little pizza roll. Ooh. Okay. So I'm gonna go through and keep making these. I'm gonna make bigger versions because I don't have I gotta feed the kids. Like, I can't sit here and do this all day. So, while I'm doing that, let's talk about Wonder Woman 84. This is such a good little movie. Well, I say it's good. Okay, there's some plot holes. Let's be real. There are some things that I was like, what am I watching? Okay. This segment does contain Wonder Woman 84 spoilers, so if that's just gonna kill you, you need to back it up, go watch the movie, and then come back to us and enjoy some pizza rolls. So Wonder Woman 84 opens up on a young Diana Prince, Amazonian goddess, and I mean, she looks the part, guys. She is a cutie patootie, this little girl, okay? She's young now. She's like 12 or 13 in this episode. Well, I'm just guessing on this section of it. That's what I'm thinking she is. That's how she looks. Anyway, she's up against all these, oh, that's too much. She's like racing or doing some sort of like, looks like a relay race of some kind up against all these like legit Amazonian, like full grown women. And she is just whooping the snot out of these girls. I mean, she is just giving them the business. And I'm like, and then she just falls off her horse or something. I can't really remember how it all went down, but she's like put at a disadvantage. I mean, outside of the fact that she's half their age, she's put at an additional disadvantage. But girlfriend gets right back up on that horse some kind of way. She like sees the horse going through an alley. She like jumps on over this mountain and it's like this big grand thing. And it's awesome. It's awesome. And she gets there and she wins anyway. She beats everybody. This is just not like the opening credits haven't even happened yet. And this is how much action you have going on. So she literally beats everybody anyway, only to get there and be told that it's a no. You don't get to win because you didn't take like the correct, you didn't take the correct path. Okay, which I think is bogus. Like, what happened to work harder, not smarter? But I mean, what happened to work smarter, not harder is what I meant to say. So anyway, she's punished for no reason, I feel like, but neither here nor there. So then the movie moves on, and you're in 1984 with this gorgeous Gal Gadot. I mean, if you don't know who she is, I don't know anything else she's been in besides Wonder Woman. I'm sure she's been in other things. Me personally, I don't know what they are. So anyway, she's gorgeous, and we open up on her, and she's got like this gorgeous outfit on. She's working. She's at the Smithsonian now. That's where she's working. At least I think she is, Smithsonian. And she's an artifact curator there, which makes a lot of sense because, I mean, at this point, she's been around for a while. So she probably saw all of these, most of these before they're even artifacts, where they're like the real thing, like in real life, like fresh, So anyway, she's working as an artifact curator and she's like super popular and everything she wore in this film was just gorgeous. I don't understand that because I was always made to believe that the 80s attire was not cute. And I mean, it looked like this, but everything she wore was gorgeous. I mean, literally. So someone please leave a comment in the box and let me know if that wardrobe was legit or not. Like if that's really what people looked like in the 80s or if they just did it to make the movie interesting. Obviously, she's like wildly successful, super worldly popular. Everybody loves her, and I mean, she has superpowers, which obviously, doesn't hurt. You know what I mean? So she's going about her business, and she's fighting crime and working the day job and all that. Along comes Barbara Ann Minerva. Okay, Barbara Ann. Remember, Barbara Ann, just like that song. Come take my... I couldn't shake that. I could not shake that song out of my head after watching this movie for the longest time. So anyway, Barbara Ann shows up and she's like an expert. I think it's a geologist. And then I read like, what is she? And they said a cryptozoologist. So I'm not really sure, but one of those things. Anyway, she's like a big, she needs to be there because someone has stolen all of these other artifacts. And they've brought the girls, these ladies in to try to identify them and like figure out where else they need to go and how to get them back to everybody that needs them back and all of that jazz. And as Barbara comes in, she's like a little self-conscious. She's got a little too much fabric on, you know what I mean? Like really slouchy skirt, really slouchy sweater, like crazy big hair. And she's in the office now and she like meets Diane and Diane is super sweet and gracious and like takes Barb under her wing. And she and Barb are like, I'm not going to say besties, but definitely like hitting it off. Like they appreciate each other. Meanwhile, while they're like hitting it off and going through these stolen antiquities, we meet Max Lord. And he is like, he's a wannabe, okay? I'm feeling like it was something like a wannabe oil tycoon or something like that. But his office is just like a big empty facade. Like, I don't know if he's going through getting shut down or something, but the office is a no. It just looks like a big empty spot, and he's got some nice furniture in there, like maybe once upon a time it was a thriving, happening place. And while he's walking in there, we figure out that he like owes someone money. There's this like not very nice gentleman in there, and this guy obviously owes him money, or he owes them money, excuse me. And then we meet his cutie patootie little son named Alistair, who he's not very nice to, and he says a bunch of hateful things in front of, and then the kid starts crying. And I don't know, like right from then, you're just kind of like, I'm good on you, like I don't have anything for you. So as we're finding out all of this good information about him, I'm thinking of two things. I was so distracted, I can't even remember like what exactly he's doing in that part of the plot, because as he's going about his business and yelling at this random fella and like insulting his child, all I'm thinking is, number one, he and his son are obviously of a blended family, and they never give you any backstory on that. So the whole time I'm like, okay, you're going on and on about this ex-wife and everything, but there's not so much as like a picture of her and the son, like anything other than like a fake phone conversation where there's obviously no one else on the other side, like chewing on her about her spending or whatever. And obviously this is part of the reason that this guy has become so angry and like bitter, has a lot to do with this woman, but we never like meet her, see her, get any backstory. They're just like, forget it, girl, just move on, don't even think about this. And I'm like, so that bothered me. I couldn't get past it. I kept thinking about it. And then the second thing was, the dude is Mandalorian. I'm sorry, Mandalorian spoilers if you haven't watched it, back away from the screen. But he's Mandalorian. And if you don't know who Mandalorian is, it's a Star Wars, I don't know, galaxy, or not galaxy, but series. And the whole time you're watching this show, you're like waiting to see this guy's face. He's not allowed to take his helmet off. Well, he does for like a split second in the second season, towards the end of it, because he has to, because it's like life or death if he doesn't. And so you don't get to see very much of his face, but I swear I felt like the whole time I'm watching this guy, I'm like, where did I see him? Boom, he's Mando. That's where you've seen him. So in all of that distraction, I didn't really catch like what his problem was. I think it had to do with oil and maybe, I don't know, some bad bets or investments or something. Anyway, he's going under, he's tanking, he's not nice to his kid, and his ex-wife is not in the picture. So while we're learning a lot about him, the plot is thickening, and we find out that some of these stolen artifacts is something very, very rare. One of them is. And Diana read the, I don't know, Latin or something on it that said, you know, that this is the dream stone or the wishing stone or whatever. And I guess kind of being semi-silly, both of the ladies go to wishing, okay? So Barb, obviously being like self-conscious and kind of like mousy, she wants to be like Diane. Like, who doesn't? I want to be like Diane. So anyway, she is obviously wishing for like confidence and power, and basically just to be just like Diana. And little does she know, I mean, she doesn't know that that's actually like a superhero. So when she makes that wish, it really turns things upside down. And then Diana secretly and quietly makes a wish to see her lost love, Steve. If you don't know who Steve is, he's the guy that died in the first Wonder Woman movie. And she's wishing to one day see him again, or something. It's implied, I mean, that she would see him again, and then they would have their love reunited or whatever. So both ladies make the wish. They go about their business. I don't think they really expected, you know, much to come from it. But what they didn't know also was that with this thing, there's like a catch. And basically, if you make a wish and it's granted, then it comes with a cost, a toll, if you will. And we'll find out more what that toll is. Almost immediately, Barb starts to feel a little stronger, starts feeling herself a little bit. She catches her balance. She's like jumping onto benches with her high heels on. Oh, this is post the gym bag. Okay, so the gym bag, I'm pretty sure she had like a random set of heels in. I don't know if they were like aspirational or like dream board type of thing. Like, I'm gonna carry these heels to work and someday I can wear them there. Like, I don't know, but she just randomly had them sitting in her gym bag, which I thought was super odd. And if you don't, back to Steve, you know, Wonder Woman's guy that she's wishing about. You don't see him yet, but if you watch the movie, you should know that it's Chris Pine. This gets very confusing later on. The original Steve was Chris Pine, okay? If you don't, Chris Pine is on Star Trek and some other movies. You can Google Chris Pine. He's pretty famous. Anyway, so they're going about their day. They're working on these artifacts. they've been wishing. Barb, like I said, she starts feeling herself, and she like loses the skirt and loses the baggy sweatshirt, and she's now just walking around work in an entirely different outfit than what she came to work in. And it's not really, I don't know if that's appropriate, like if her work attire itself was very appropriate. I felt like it was pretty, I don't know, I mean, it's leggings and a sweatshirt. She like just lost the skirt and was like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. I don't know. To me, it seemed a little cash, but I wasn't there. So men folk are noticing her, and she's like, just say she's happy that they're noticing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so here is where handsome Max Lord comes back in, you know, the mean one. And Home Slice is super power hungry. Like, he just can't even stand it. And he comes to find out, I forget how, that this wishing stone is over at the Smithsonian. So he gets the hookup on some Smithsonian gala tickets that will get him in there so he can try and figure out where it is and get it back. Or get it, not back, it was never his, but get it. Because he wants to use it, because he wants the power. Everyone is attending this gala, and I'm guessing I'm guessing it's for the Smithsonian. I'm sure it said somewhere in the movie, but I just kind of assumed it was. And of course Diana shows up, and she's like, I mean, she's a literal goddess, so she looks gorgeous. She's got this white dress on. It's absolutely beautiful. I wish I could wear it. Like, it's beautiful. And Barbara Ann shows up, and she's looking more like someone named Barbie than Barbara Ann. She is looking like one hot tamale. She's got her black fitted dress on. She left the pink sweatshirt at home. She's done with all that. She is here for it. And she's about to just pounce on Max Lord. And I don't know if that was like, oh, there was like an earlier crush or something to allude to that, but now she's here to get her man. And her man is Max Lord. So those two run into each other at the gala and make their way up to her office, which is really inappropriate on your first date or whatever. And Maxie Poo finds the stone thing and snatches it. And that's how he comes into possession. That's how he acquires the stone in question. And then he's like out of there. And you may be thinking, well, what about Diana's wish? Well, at this point, Steve has been dead for a long time, so I don't think she's thinking that's going to come true. But I know I saw Chris Pine in the trailer, so I know he's like, you know, at this point I'm thinking, I know he's in the film somewhere because I saw him in the trailer, but like how? Because, you know, that character's been dead at this point for a long time. It's not like it's like the next year and like we can just exhume him and he's fresh or something. I mean, I don't know if he would be fresh, gross, but anyway, I don't know how he's gonna, you know, make his way into this thing. So she's walking through the party. She's walking through the party, and this rando starts yelling at her, which is creepy and gross. So he's like, Diana, and it's someone she doesn't know. And he's like chasing her through the party, and she's like, get away from me, and I don't know you, and just leave me alone. Like, now's not the time. We have a bunch of serious antiquities on our hands here that we need to like investigate and everything. And he said something to her that was like a quote from the last movie or some inside joke or something. I can't remember what it was, but she like whips back around, and all of a sudden she realizes it's him, and they go to smooching. And in the middle of their smooch sesh, he turns into Chris Pine. And so I'm so confused at this point because I'm like, okay, wait, is he Chris Pine? Or like, did he actually physically change like in front of everybody else? Or is it just Chris Pine's like, I don't know, movie spirit or whatever in this other guy that doesn't look anything like Chris Pine? I mean, I would have a problem with that. Like, I love my husband and I want my husband to look like my husband, not like some random, I don't know, it's just weird. But she's here for it. She doesn't care. She's like, all I see is you. All I see is you, Steve. And she knew it was Steve. And so they go back to the rando guy's apartment, or they go somewhere, and they're hanging out and just having a ball. So they're back at her place the next morning, and they're getting his wardrobe together. And of course they have like kind of a fun little 80s wardrobe montage, and he's like making jokes about parachute pants, and it was fun to watch. I mean, it was cute, you know. So anyway, they're back there, they're getting his wardrobe together. Max Lord is plotting to take over the world, and Barbie basically is becoming a shaggier version of Catwoman while this is all going on. While they're worried about the wardrobe, all this stuff is going down. Barb doesn't seem to realize that she's becoming evil, but she does really, really enjoy having power and just like being really sure-footed, like she's not falling over and she's not clumsy and she can just like whoop everybody. So she's just really enjoying this newfound power and confidence. She doesn't see yet that she's becoming evil or that she's on the wrong side of things. So Max Lord is kind of taking advantage of her in that way. Well, some other stuff happens, and anyway, flash forward, and Max Lord is trying to get a meeting with the president, or like on the satellite television, something where he has access to a satellite feed, because he's discovered that, well, he's been going all over the world trying to make, other people make wishes on him, because he wished, oh, I forgot to tell you, he wished to become the stone, so he did. He became the stone himself, so he was the one that could grant the wishes, kind of like Genie. I feel like they kind of robbed that from Aladdin, or maybe Aladdin took it from them, because I don't know how old this particular episode of the comic is, if it's an actual comic from this series, or if it's something Marvel took creative liberties on. But, Genie and Jafar had the same plan. They turned him into the genie. Anyway, we all know how that turned out. But Max becomes the wishing stone himself and is going all over the world, like getting world leaders to like make bad wishes, so he has power over them and all this and that. And so Diana and new Steve with the old face is chasing them all over the world, trying to stop him. And anyway, he's trying to go after a satellite feed so he can get like the whole world into making bad decisions, okay? And bad wishes. And he's successful. He gets there. But before he gets there, there's a good fight scene in the White House between Wonder Woman, Barb as the Catwoman lady, Cheetah, I think it is, and Steve-O's there too, but he doesn't do a whole lot. So they're fighting while Max Lord's trying to get on with the president, and they just, Cheetah kind of wins, honestly, because we find out that when you do the wishing stone, it takes a toll. Well, the toll it's taking from Diana is her power, and the toll it's taking from Cheetah is her humanity. So you're slowly seeing her like move towards this like, inhumane creature, really. So anyway, once that fight was so close between the two of them, Cheetah decided she's not playing around anymore, and she wished to be an apex predator. And she turned into, I'm paraphrasing all this, but she turned into like one of those little cat, like she looks so much like a cat person from Cats the movie, the little Jellicle cats. They were really creepy. She was like a little Jellicle, a little muscular cheetah Jellicle. She was like a full, shaggy, scarier version of the Jellicle cats, like an angry, mean Jellicle. Ultimately, Diana has to revoke her wish and basically watch Steve die again, which was like, it was heart-wrenching. It caused me physical pain and I hated it. But it's what she had to do to save the world, and to save the world from Max Lord and Catwoman, Cheetah, the Jellicle. And so she had to do it. Girlfriend had a job to do. So bye-bye Steve in the weird face, and hello back full-powered Wonder Woman. And she's ready to take Cheetah on, because now she's lost her man over this whole situation, and it's just really gone too far. So Max has succeeded, and he has a satellite feed, and he's like getting everyone to do all these horrible things to each other and everything. And she gets in there and she lassos them with the lasso of truth, and she's like, hey, tell everybody the truth. Well, he does, and in the midst of all this, and then revoking their wishes and like this hurricane thing around him to undo all the bad, he hears his little boy Alistair, who's lost by himself in the chaos, and he can't find anybody. So luckily, it brings out his softer side, and he revokes his wish, so none of this stuff mattered anyway, and everything went back, all of his bad things that he made happen throughout the world went back, because he had revoked his wish. And sure enough, he runs out of this random building in the middle of I don't know where, and randomly finds his son Alistair, which we still don't know. Where is Alistair's mom? Like, why is Alistair running around in this chaos without the mother? I'm not like trying to mom shame her, but I'm like, goodness gracious, the world's falling apart and you're letting your baby run around. Anyway, neither here nor there. So they find each other and all seems like it's well. That's basically the end. Something I forgot to mention earlier, which was this cameo post-credits by the original Wonder Woman, and they wrote her into the plot as like the original Amazonian goddess that had like the really awesome armor and like all the things. And we got to see her at the post-credit, and she's gorgeous. She hasn't aged a bit, and it was just super fun, and I thought that it was a great tie-in, and it gave me hope for like another installment that was more about her and like that backstory. Like I love a history or a backstory on a character, like origin stories. So I thought that'd be a lot of fun. So basically my favorite part were the clothes and the post credits at the end. But all in all, I truly found it to be a decent movie to watch. We enjoy superhero movies at my house. And it wasn't something that like I wouldn't sit down and watch again. For the most part, it was fine. And I was all about the girl power all throughout it, and the fact that both of the main characters were women. I loved it. That part of it. It got a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. Speaking of which, I'm gonna go fry these pizza rolls, and I'll be back to show you the difference in the original and the homemade, and let you see what our end product looks like. So thanks for sticking around while I talked about this movie. You go watch it for yourself, see what you think.
Okay, guys, so this is the original Totino's pizza roll we all know and love, and these are the ones that we made here at the house. We loved them. They ended up being a great product, so I hope you enjoyed this recipe. It was a big hit with my kids. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye!
It's super duper yum.